In problem 7A-2, there's only one part of the problem that's kind of tricky, and that is trying to calculate how much of Audrey May's gross pay is taxable for Social Security. So we're first going to look at method 1, which is using a graph to visually calculate how much of her gross pay is taxable for Social Security. So this graph is going to show her cumulative pay for the year. And of course, this is gross pay. To do the problem, we have to know what the OASDI wage base is. It's $102,000 in this problem. So what does that mean? So what amount of her pay is, or I should say, what is taxable for OASDI? Is it the amount under $102,000 per year, or is it the amount over $102,000? The taxable portion is the part under $102,000. So in other words, Audrey's first $102,000 is going to be taxed for OASDI per year, but nothing above that will be taxed. So in this graph, we're going to show two things. We're showing her year-to-date gross pay, which is $101,080. So in other words, prior to this paycheck, that's how much she has been paid. And then this paycheck, her gross pay is $2,090. So we have to figure out how much of the current paycheck is taxable for OASDI. So how much of the $2,090 is taxable? Any of it? All of it? Part of it? Well, remember, it's the part of this gross pay that's below $102,000. So we have to calculate how much of this $2,090 check is going to be taxable. How much of that is under the $102,000 limit? We got to do some math. So the portion in green is the part that's taxable. How do we calculate that? You're going to take the wage base, $102,000, and subtract what she has already been paid prior to this, which is $101,080. So take $102,000, subtract $101,080, and you get $920 is taxable for this paycheck. So that's the taxable paycheck. That's the taxable portion of this paycheck for OASDI. Now, how do we calculate the OASDI tax to be deducted from this paycheck? You're going to take the taxable amount, $920, times 6.2%, gives us $57.04 that we need to withhold from Audrey May's paycheck for OASDI tax. So that's the method 1, which is using the graph. If you like, we could use the flowchart method instead. So to do that, we need the year-to-date gross pay for the employee prior to this pay period. We need the gross pay for this paycheck, and we need to know the wage base. So here's the data. Her year-to-date gross pay before this check is $101,080. The gross pay for this paycheck is $2,090, and of course the wage base is $102,000. Oops, don't look at that. I clicked too soon. So we're first going to talk about this portion. We have to figure out, is the employee's year-to-date gross pay prior to this paycheck, is it greater than the OASDI wage base? So her year-to-date gross pay is $101,080. Is that greater than the wage base? No. So we're going to go down here to the next decision box. Is the year-to-date gross pay, which is $101,080, plus this pay period's gross pay, so is $101,080 plus $2,090, is that less than the wage base? No, it's not. So we have to go over here to the no section, and the no section says the employee's taxable amount for OASDI is equal to the OASDI wage base, $102,000, minus the year-to-date gross pay, which is $101,080. So do the math. $102,000 minus $101,080 gives us $920 taxable for OASDI this paycheck. And of course, to calculate the actual to calculate the actual tax for OASDI, you take the $920 taxable times 6.2%. So use whichever method you prefer, either the graph method or this flowchart method.